Evening cutters, this is John again from Battleborn Blade Sharpening, and I was just going to do a quick video on the radius of your scissor, which a lot of people overlook and don't really understand. And we have this wet, dry, blunt slicing, and all these different terms that we use for our shear and how we think it applies to the cut. Well, I'm going to break it down for you here real quick, and it's real simple. You have your blunt cut and you have a slice cut. And so your blunt cut is when you take that shear and you're starting to cut with it and you notice that it doesn't push at all. It just catches the hair and the hair just flies off, and there's no pushing, there's no soft feel. It's crunchy, and it's built mainly for barbers to go right up with a overcomb, or it's for precision cutters, or it's for point cutters that come in and they really want to see that hair disappear. They want a 100% removal rate on that, and they don't want the hair to push, and they don't want to do the pull away method like this. They want it to just whop, it's gone, right? So basically what you have is what's called radius, and it dictates how that shear feels in your hand when you are making cuts, and it also dictates whether or not there's going to be push or it's going to be really blunt and take all the hair in its path. So when I'm talking about radius, I'm talking about the shear's shape when you look at it this way, from here to here. So from here to here is called radius. You see how that shear has this shape right there, which is basically like this, right? So when that shear is open and it's in that position, you have that. When you look at this shear, it's open, it's like that, and you see the shape right there. That shape is called your radius. That's the radius of your shear. Now, these flat radiuses in the edge make the shear a lot more blunt, and it makes it so that when you're coming down, you're hitting a lot more of that section that you're taking all at once. So when you come in, rule of thumb is you always go to that second knuckle right there to make that cut. And so when you come in right there, you're really taking all of the hair away, right? Now, the other shape in shear is going to be kind of like your duck lip or leaf blade, they call it, and they make them big or they make them smaller. And this shear is really shaped in that way. See how that shear is shaped? This is a Mizutani, 1 of 4, Ikaninu-san. So you see how that blade is shaped like that? It's shaped like a leaf, and it's got that wide looking blade like that. That means that the shear, when it's open, is shaped open this way. So you end up with a blade that's shaped more like this. And that is a blade shape that's designed more for slicing. So when you come in and you're making a cut on a section on that, you're actually pushing away the hair as you cut by design. So when you come in and you're making your cut, it doesn't really cut blunt. You're not really being a precise cutter in that way. You're actually wanting to come in and slice and pull through sections and slice cut. And when you're moving your shear like this while you're doing a slice cut, it's actually not slice cut. It's called slither cutting. Different texture, different shape, different everything. If I come in on my bangs and I slice cut, it's going to just take away depending on the entry of the angle of the shear when I'm coming into that section. Now, if I come in and I'm doing this with the blade, then I'm actually cutting little pieces and little notches, right? So that's called slither cutting, a little bit different. I'm sure there's a lot of different terminology there. That's just how I know it. But when it comes down to it, if you're doing a precision cut and it's wet, you want that blunt shear. You want that shear that's going to grab that hair. It's going to push it. It's going to squeeze that section of hair together as you cut it. And you're going to see the moisture start to come out, and you're going to feel it cut hard like a wet celery. And when your blunt cutting shear starts to squeeze and push all that moisture out, but it doesn't really cut it, and all the hair starts to push off the end, that means that your shear actually needs to be maintained and it's not cutting blunt. And this type of shear with the leaf blade is going to do that by design. Now, if you want a true slicing blade, not a lot of people know this, but a true slicing blade is actually dull on one side, razor sharp on the other, so that when you approach and you're slicing through their hair, you actually have one dull piece of metal right there against the hair, and the other piece is just slicing right through it, razor sharp. So that's kind of the difference between the blunt and the slicing blade and the radius of your shear. So when you get your shear sharpened or you get it maintained, make sure that they know what they're doing with that, because if they take that radius shaped blade and make it flat, you just lost the actual functionality of the shear. The Mizutani Ikaninu-san. Take it easy.